Look, I don't know about you guys, but I am getting less and less happy with the government. They are printing money at will. They have complete control over the monetary supply. And I'm in cryptocurrency for a reason. The reason I'm in cryptocurrency is because of the decentralization of the way we transfer value, the decentralization of the internet, Web 3.0, and all of its various functions that allow people, powerless people, to then get power with these technologies. This is why I'm in cryptocurrency in the first place. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys the ultimate guide to decentralized trading, not regular trading, not centralized trading, to decentralized trading. Keep watching. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another video, and today we're talking about decentralized trading. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because usually when I have like different types of portfolios, my risk portfolio that I spend the most time on is usually in decentralized trading. I'll explain exactly what it means. I'll explain all the tools I use and pretty much every single detail I could possibly come up with so that you guys could have success in decentralized trading. If you guys appreciate this content, do us both a favor, hit that subscribe button as well as the push notification bell. I talk about cryptocurrency, entrepreneurship. I keep things down to earth. We don't accept sponsorships in any way, shape, or form on this channel, and it allows me to be honest. And I give you that. I give you my heart and soul in my video. So let's jump into the actual content. So if we look over here, you can have a special website. Everybody should know about it. A lot of my pro traders know about it. It's called CoinGecko. Now, CoinGecko has a lot of coins. Now, there's one little specific tab I want to show you guys, which is over here. You can look at exchanges. You have spot exchanges, derivative exchanges, and decentralized exchanges, or DEXs, okay? Now, this revolutionary new concept just actually came out a couple years ago in 2018 with the launch of Uniswap. Let me explain the difference between a centralized exchange and a decentralized exchange, and I'll give you the pros and cons so you know what I'm talking about. So basically, the overall gist here is that we have these centralized exchanges. They're kind of like honeypots. Now, centralized exchanges are called CEX, CEX, and decentralized exchanges are called DEXs, okay? And they both have their benefits and misbenefits. Decentralized exchanges are getting more volume. People are starting to adopt it a lot more. The thing about centralized exchanges, that's pretty much, it's an intermediary. It's similar to what we currently have in traditional finance, and it kind of defeats the whole purpose of, cryptocurrency in the first place. Because with cryptocurrency, technically, if you have the private key to your own coins, you own the coin. But with centralized exchanges, they give you access to your coin and they own the private keys. So basically, there's been a lot of situations where it's been hacked. There's been a lot of exit scams in centralized exchanges, and throughout history, we have always pretty much looked for. We're trying to look for a solution to these people just having continuous control over the money. If you look at traditional finance, that is the reason why cryptocurrency was made in the first place. So because these guys control the monetary supply. Well, with centralized exchanges, they control all of the cryptocurrency on the exchange basically and give you access to it. Now, I will, rest assured, they're not going to exit scam with your money. That's not how it works. Long story short, decentralized exchanges came into play, and pretty much anyone in the world, no matter how old you are, no matter what country you are, all these government restrictions pretty much got lifted. You can buy any coin you want on this decentralized exchange. They don't care about your identity because technically nobody's actually running it. It's like 20 or so smart contracts all working together through artificial trust. So the code is law in this situation. Now, the biggest decentralized exchange is Uniswap, and it's on Ethereum. And this is why I've been using it, because I kind of want to be a user of the future. I want to be this is where pretty much everybody's going. This is the big use case for cryptocurrency in general. So I pretty much do all my trading, and I got hit for that. I lost about $26,000 in trading fees. Now I have this little sheet here, excuse me off, but these are just the pros and cons that I'm not going to be able to remember in one shot. So pros: no KYC. If you're using a decentralized exchange, you don't have to do a know your customer. You don't have to upload identification, passport in any way, shape, or form. Anyone, no matter your color, race, gender, does not matter. You can trade on a decentralized exchange. There's no downtime. So in times of like extreme volatility, these exchanges are known for this. Decentralized exchanges solve that problem because centralized exchanges go down. When Bitcoin's dumping or the price is, going exponentially high, or a new coin's being launched, there's in some cases manipulation by the centralized exchange so they can make money. There's some type of insider trading or arbitrage. There's a couple of places that have been called out for it, including Coinbase, right? They've actually been sued. They won that lawsuit, but I'm just saying there is a chance for them to manipulate it when there's downtime, All right. With decentralized exchanges, there is no downtime. It's pretty much always up. And you could trade at any time, even like those most pivotal moments. You ever been in that most pivotal moment where, for example, recently Ethereum dropped to $1,700. It dropped to $1,700 and you couldn't buy it on Coinbase. Well, with decentralized exchanges, you definitely can. Okay. Another pro is that you get access to new cryptocurrencies. So being that there's all this law and regulation for the developers, when they launch a coin, they don't always want to launch it on a centralized exchange because of, restrictions and regulations. So that's a give take thing because, it's a good thing because you get access to new cryptocurrencies, but it's a bad thing because there's a lot of rug pulls. There's a lot of scammers with anonymous names that will pretend to launch a coin and then take your money. So it's kind of a give take thing. It gives you access to these early coins. And this is where you're going to get a lot of like the 50, 100Xs. Usually it launches on a decentralized exchange in most cases, or like a private seed sale or something like that. Okay. Another pro, the knowledge of using crypto the way you're supposed to. Believe it or not, guys, we're going to be in a situation in the future where I think everything's going to be decentralized. And just using the features now will get you ahead of the growth curve. Imagine if you were an internet user with your current skill set, depending on if you use the internet or not, 15 years ago, when the internet wasn't as popular, you'd be probably making much more money now to be a founder of like a tech company or something like that. Having the skill set of navigating Internet 3.0 is, in my opinion, a highly sought after and lucrative skill that you should probably learn. And the fact that I use decentralized trading continuously builds on that skill to make me a better person in this, decentralized 3.0 world. Another pro is you actually own your crypto. We talked about it. If you don't own your private keys, you don't technically own your cryptocurrency. So there could be, I don't know, some regulation passed where they can take advantage of you on centralized exchanges. I've always said you want to have a cold storage wallet. You don't want them to hold your money. It's as simple as that. And if you really understand what a blockchain is, and this is not the video for that, but if you did understand what a blockchain is, essentially you don't really have coins in your wallet. So the blockchain has pretty much every coin on it. And the private key gives you access to that slot on the blockchain, which shows that you own that coin. It's a hard concept to understand, but with a private key, you actually own your cryptocurrency. And with a centralized exchange, technically, you don't. Also, LP opportunities. So with decentralized exchanges, if you want to swap from one coin to another coin, you essentially have to have a liquidity pool where somebody can basically offer their money to be used in this arbitrage or this trade. If you want to become an LP provider, it usually requires more money. I would say to never become an LP provider unless you have at least like more than 2 or 3K to put into this, pool. This opportunity has never happened before in finance in general, right? And it does for, wealthy investors and accredited investors. You could be an LP for an exchange, but for someone with, 10 grand to their name, you never had this opportunity before. So with decentralized exchanges, you could be an LP if you want. Now, a couple cons, and they are bad cons, but the thing is these cons can be fixed in the future and they're actively developing. They are bad cons. Number one, bad user interface. Guys, it sucks. I will say it's hard to use. If you don't know the internet, if you don't know how to use computers and you're new to this, it's probably not recommended. Again, I'm trying to make this guide for you guys so you can get a little bit more adaptable, and you should just play around with it. But with your actual money, just be very careful because the user experience is kind of bad in a lot of these applications. And it's there for a reason because a lot of them are in beta, right? And it's usually typical for people with a high technology background to, maneuver through these, right? So just be careful with the user interface. Number two, failed transactions. So this is not native to, I would say, decentralized exchanges. This is probably native to Ethereum. So basically, a lot of times, like I'll do a swap on Uniswap and I'll pay the transaction fee, which by the way is expensive, which is another con. I'll pay the transaction fee and it will fail. It will literally fail. And then I lose the transaction cost, it is less than the regular transaction fee, but I'll lose the transaction cost and I have to run it again, which is a big problem. And it could be a lot of things. It could be someone's front running you. It could be the blockchain is congested. It could be you just didn't use enough gas, whatever the situation is. There's a lot of reasons, but there are a thing as failed transactions in decentralized trading, not in centralized trading. Another one, the speed and fees. On centralized exchanges, the being that they own your currency, they can maneuver. It's a lot easier for them to move, from here to here. So you have more options, by the way, on centralized exchanges. So you'll have market orders, limit orders, stop limit orders on centralized exchanges. On decentralized exchanges, you don't really have those options. And it's a lot slower because it's basically I guess you could say the bottleneck is the Ethereum blockchain, which right now obviously is not, it needs to be more scalable. We need to have, there's a lot of proposals being passed, EIP 1559, as well as Ethereum 2.0 that might fix this issue. There's also some layer twos, which we'll explain layer twos in, later in this video that already fixed this issue that I'm currently using. And of course, we'll go into that. Long story short, the options are limited in comparison to centralized exchanges. And then the last one is manipulation. Being that this is an open blockchain and everything, you can see it on the block explorer, which of course we'll talk about in this video. There is more manipulation. And you know, I experienced this myself. There's two attacks called front running and sandwich attacks. Basically, in both situations, basically someone's watching your public address and they'll take advantage of you when you try to make a buy or a sell by front running your transaction. This is something with the mempool. This is high level stuff. My goal here is not to confuse you guys. I'm just giving you the guide for decentralized trading so that you guys don't basically get taken advantage of. Just, you know, do some research on it. If you guys want me to do a complete video on sandwich attacks and some attacks that can happen on the Ethereum blockchain, leave a comment below and I'll jump into that for sure. So let's jump into some of the tools. That's all the pros and cons I could possibly come up with off the top of my head in the last, 30 minutes or so. The first tool I think I use the most is Zerion. Okay. The reason why I use Zerion is because when you're using MetaMask, which is it's basically the decentralized wallet. MetaMask is essentially the place where you hold your cryptocurrencies or all ERC20 tokens. Also, take in consideration, decentralized exchanges are not limited to just Ethereum. There's other decentralized exchanges and other layer one cryptocurrencies. Let me kind of draw this out really quickly before we jump into that. But basically, there's all these different types of blockchains, right? You got Binance Smart Chain, you have AVAX, you have Cosmos, you have Polkadot. These are all separate blockchains, and each of them have their own decentralized exchange. It just happens to be that everybody uses ETH because it has the most developers, it has the most user base, and most of the trading happens on Ethereum, right? So, that's why I'm doing, for the purpose of this video, we're definitely going to do Ethereum trading. But as you can see here from my MetaMask, you can actually integrate your wallet to multiple networks. As you can see here, I have Matic network right here. And then if we open my other browser, I actually have like all of them right here, and you can integrate it. It's relatively easy. If I click network, you can see I have the XDAI layer 2. I have Binance Smart Chain, which is another layer 1. I have Harmony mainnet. I have Avalanche network. These are all different networks that you could use with decentralized trading in general. And this is, again, we're getting a little bit advanced. There's no way I can go into every specific detail. This video would be 6 hours long, but I just wanted to make you aware of that. So in MetaMask specifically, you want to use the MetaMask Zerion combo. That's usually what I do. Zerion's a good place to look at your history of transactions and exactly what's going on, as well as look at your balance. Also, you could use Zerion to track other people's portfolio. If I click this right now, this is a whale I'm tracking. You can see he has a whole bunch of Shiba Inu and Ethereum. And I'm just simply looking at his portfolio and his portfolio performance, which is another great indicator. And you can find public addresses by Google searching it. You can find public addresses by looking through an Ethereum block explorer and just simply, looking at big wallets. You can find these big wallets. I do that all the time, which is another element of decentralized exchanges or decentralized trading. I was watching Vitalik Buterin's wallet for a very long period of time. When he moved money or he bought a certain coin, you can potentially copy it. So Zerion's a good way. And all you have to do, by the way, is find their public address. If you guys don't know what a public address is, I mean, it's going to be, I'll just explain it. I'll explain it for you guys. But basically a public address, it's what everybody, there's a wallet. It comes with two things, a public address and a private address, and the private key, which is the one that nobody sees, but the public address everyone can see without getting access to your funds. So the public address is like, if you want to send money to me, I have to give you my public address. And then once I give it to you, then you can send it. And then you could also take that same public address and drop it in Zerion and you can see my wallet. This is the open transparency of decentralized trading. Can't really do that on a centralized exchange unless they have a specific mechanism that allows you to do that. So the point I'm trying to get across here is that Zerion allows you to see the cryptocurrencies, because in MetaMask, it doesn't give you a lot of functionality to see every single one of your assets, right? Remember, there's like 70,000 different cryptocurrencies. On centralized exchanges, they filter out a lot of the scams for you. But being that this decentralized world is so open, there's so many scams that even in some cases, they'll airdrop you free tokens that are worthless just to try to like do some promotions or try to exit scam you and get you to buy more of their token. The point I'm trying to get across is that Zerion will weed out all of the scam coins and only show you the assets that actually have value in your portfolio. So if you just come over here, I have MetaMask and Uniswap tutorials on my channel. You guys can get up for yourself. But look here, public address, you just copy that. You come over here, you could connect another wallet, you go address ENS and you just paste it in there and it'll show you, this is just one of my dummy wallets. I don't have any money in there, but it will show you everything you have in there as well as the history. And you can actually invest from Zerion if you want to, but I don't usually do that because they use Uniswap themselves. So yeah, MetaMask Zerion combo is everything. MetaMask is where you do the actual trading. Zerion is when you look at your balances and look what coins you have, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So that's the first thing. Definitely look into those two to make sure you understand it. The second thing, Etherscan. So Etherscan is important because of one, you can track people's wallets. Two, you can avoid scams. So a big problem is liquidity. So remember I explained to you guys there's an LP pool. Okay, there's an LP pool, and I'll show you what this is. So if I come over here, we can go to analytics. And the way they make this happen is through these pools. So there's a guy, if I come over here to tokens, there's a guy that says, you know what? I want people to trade these two coins. I want them to trade FEI and USDC. I want them to be able to do this. I want people to be able to transfer from FEI to USDC and from USDC to FEI anytime they want, and a decentralized way with no KYC and all the benefits we talked about. Well, what they do is they create this pool, which right now this pool is currently sitting at total value locked $67 million in this pool, and it's usually split in half of each. So if I'm an LP provider, I can essentially put $500 worth of FEI and $500 worth of USDC into this pool and allow people to use my money to trade back and forth. And then when I exit the pool, they'll give me a percentage of the pool back in proportion to what the pool is worth at the time. I know there's a lot of concept, but the point I'm trying to get across here is that you could use Etherscan as well as Uniswap to make sure that the coin you're buying, this new coin that could potentially be a scam or not a scam, you can look and see if it has liquidity. You can see, okay, there's this new coin. Let's just pick a random like poop coin or something like that. Let's go to page, I don't know, 5. Let's go to page 5. Let's pick this random coin. Let's pick share token. I'm gonna click this one right here. All you have to do is take the contract address right there, which is the main address for the coin. You come over to Uniswap, and Uniswap doesn't work perfectly all the time. So it might not work in this case, but you could search the pool. I could type in that contract address, boom, and it's giving me no results. But if we put something like, I would say more common, and I'll show you Etherscan. You can use them both in conjunction. But let's say, you see how it says version 2? Well, the reason why it's not coming up is because I'm in version 3, I believe. Let's pull up Uniswap. Yeah, see, I'm currently in version 3. Let's go to version 2 analytics. Version 3 is just an upgrade of Uniswap that gives LP providers more functionality. But if I paste this in here, it should come up. There you go, share token. And now I could look at this and get some analytics on what's going on in the background. So you can see there's really two big pairs. I could swap from ETH to SHR and USDC to SHR. Now, the liquidity is very small on USDC to SHR. So it's probably not smart to do this because you're going to get an unfavorable price. But if you look at Ethereum, if you want to switch some ETH, we have $286,000 worth of liquidity. Now, if you're trying to buy like 100 grand worth of this token, you're probably going to mess up the pool. So just be very careful with that. It can mess up the price. And of course, the pool video will probably come soon. I'll give you guys a video on that. But it's a funny mechanism, automated market maker. It's what made Uniswap popular in the first place, and people have manipulated it and changed it to make it more efficient. And we're getting better and better as cryptocurrency continues. But the point I'm trying to get across here is whatever coin you're going to get, go and figure out if it has liquidity when you're using a decentralized exchange. Because if it doesn't, they can rug pull you. They can take your money. Make sure it has a lot of liquidity. That's how it works. The more liquidity this coin has, the less risk you're gonna take. And for the LP providers, they actually get a portion of the fee. When you take a swap, you'll pay a transaction fee and you'll actually pay an LP fee. So just definitely taking that into consideration when you're doing your transactions. Because remember, I told you guys it's more expensive on these pools. So we got the Zerion to track your portfolio. We got the MetaMask to actually make the trades. And we have Uniswap to actually make the trades as well. This is where you're making the swap itself. But there's other decentralized exchanges that you can see here from CoinGecko. You can come over to exchanges to DEX, and you can see you have it on the Binance Smart Chain. You can see you have 1inch Exchange, which is an aggregator. Aggregators basically mean is they look at all the decentralized exchanges and they use the best one for the best fee. 1inch is not the best, I will say, but it's pretty good. You have Sushi Swap, you have 0x. There's so many different decentralized exchanges, and actually shows you the most traded pair, shows you market share by volume, all these great details that you can use with CoinGecko. All right, let's talk about something else I think is really important. Okay, when you're doing decentralized trading, I highly recommend you guys use the fastest option for trading fees. The reason why I say that is the worst thing that can happen in decentralized trading is that your transaction gets stuck in the blockchain and you have to like revert it. Now I have a tutorial for that, again, YouTube channel, but I will say that I always use the fastest option. So if we go to Uniswap, for example, let's pull up in my actual wallet. Let's go to Uniswap home. All right, I'm gonna open my account. Let's go to my Ethereum mainnet. Okay, I'm on the Ethereum mainnet. So if I go use Uniswap, let's say hypothetically, I don't know, I wanted to buy some, I don't know, USDC. Say I have ETH, I select the token. Let's say I want to buy USDC. And let's say I put in like, I have 2 ETH there. Let's say I want to sell 1 ETH for USDC, which is a stable coin. I press swap, and you can see a couple of things. We have the liquidity provider fee, which I just told you about. If you become an LP, you can get those fees over time. It's going from ETH to USDC. Price impact, that's another something that you have to take in consideration. Some of these coins are so volatile that you're going to have to increase slippage, which you can see here. So basically what slippage means, and let's say in that second you're about to make the trade, the price can change. So if it's a very small coin, the slippage needs to be increased to like 10. If you get an error trying to transact, you need to increase the slippage. That's the only way it works. But being that this is like a very common pair, we're not going to see too much volatility. The slippage does not need to be 10. Now it's showing you the minimum receive that you'll get. You'll get that much USDC. And then the slippage tolerance is 10%, which in this case, you don't need to do that because this is a high trading pair. So let me just put it back to 1% right there. And then we'll press swap, and I'll press confirm swap. So when I'm talking about transaction fees, I'm talking about the gas fee right here. Usually every single time, this is what I do. I press edit and I go the fastest possible. Because again, if there's a congestion in the network, and a congestion can change, it can change all the time, then your transaction can get stuck, and then you have to spend money to get your transaction out. I just rejected the transaction. And there's a couple of tools you can use. You can use the MetaMask tool, but they also have this website here, etherscan.io, gas tracker, that you can use. And yeah, which brings me to the next point. Etherscan is your friend. It's everything. It's like the big interface for decentralized trading in general. Like it's pretty much what everybody uses. So I'll go over Etherscan for a little bit, and then I'll start going into layer 2 solutions, and we'll kind of conclude the video from there. Layer 2 is the best part because they're fixing a lot of the problems that I explained to you guys in the beginning with layer 2. It's not perfect. It just came out. We're on the cutting edge of technology, but it's important to understand. So Etherscan, you can use it for a variety of things. So when you're using decentralized exchange, you're probably going to use it for the token. So we come back over here. We copy this contract address that we had before. We come to etherscan.io, paste it in, and it gives you a whole bunch of details. Okay. You can go to the contract itself. If you know code, you can look and see if they're going to, have some type of faulty code in there, if they're going to have issues. A lot of times they put in like an audit. Look for this verified check right here that helps out with the credibility. We have events, analytics. There's a lot of different information that you can draw from this. Sometimes we have, it just depends. I don't know why it doesn't show it every single time. A lot of times you'll see, for example, how much locked up are the biggest holders of the token. So for example, let's pull this up. This is the contract address right here. Let's click this one, the creator. Yeah, this is the creator of the token, so you can see what he's doing. Created it 203 days ago. There's a lot of information you can draw here. It's kind of like unlimited for Etherscan. You could just like literally click around and find so much information about this. But let me show you guys something really quickly. If I go to explore dApps, let's see that. There's a lot of different decentralized applications. There's so much resources on this. Top statistics. I want to see tokens though. I want to see view ERC20 tokens. So these are the top tokens basically being traded on the Ethereum network. So if I go to, for example, let's just pick Yearn Finance, you could see that this pops open right here, which shows you the holders. You can see where the most of the coins are being held. Now, usually it's in a contract. You can see right here, this is in the SushiSwap contract. So this is probably liquidity provision for SushiSwap, which is another decentralized exchange. You can see it's in Aave and a couple of different places. I don't know what this is. And then you can click it and figure it out what it is. Open it up. Let's see if we can figure out exactly what this is. It's a token holder. So somebody owns a large percentage of Yearn Finance for whatever reason. That's a big time holder. So you can make conclusions like, oh, are they going to dump on us or not? Are these guys going to take advantage of us and, make the price decrease like these big whales, right? That's a big thing. And decentralized exchanges. We have other exchanges like Binance, all these great things. You can basically research the heck out of this. Is it completely open and transparent? Etherscan is something that you guys really need to use to your advantage. I'll be making a full Etherscan guide. I want to go over like every little detail because there's some details I don't even understand about Etherscan. You can research Etherscan for 5 years and still not know everything. And this is where we're getting like developer based and stuff like that. Typically what I use it for is like liquidity right here. So you'll see in Yearn Finance that this has good liquidity because they're locking it up, in this pool, right? This is a contract in SushiSwap. So if I wanted to buy Yearn Finance on SushiSwap, I should be good. And you should be looking for this in every cryptocurrency that you currently trade. That's the way it works. Very good tool to use. Again, let me just kind of go over everything one more time. We have Zerion to track the coins in your wallet. We have MetaMask to hold the coins. We have Uniswap to do the swaps on Ethereum. Now we have Etherscan to basically do some investigation on the coins itself. Now let's talk about a layer two. And layer two's always changed. There's always new ones coming out. There's always this coming out, but you need to keep up to date, which is another option for increased scalability and transaction fees and speeds. So Matic Network is basically the solution. And then QuickSwap is a decentralized exchange on Matic Network that you can use. So for example, we take the same thing. Let's go to Ethereum, see if my wallet's connected, and we go to USDC. Let's just refresh the page to make sure my wallet's connected and stuff like that. I'm in it. I'm in wallet account one. We're on the wrong browser. Let's pull up the other browser because I have no money in this. Let's do the same thing. Let's go to QuickSwap exchange. I'm already connected. I'm in account one, and we should be able to see some money now. If I pull up like USDC right here, you can see I have a certain amount. I got to switch over network. So in this one, I'm on the Ethereum mainnet. Let's switch over to Matic. Press switch. There you go. Switch network. Boom. You can see I have $261,000, and I could switch it to Ethereum if I wanted to. Right here. Boom. Now let's say I just wanted to buy like $5,000 worth of Ethereum for 2 ETH. Let's click swap. Now look, price impact's pretty low. It's pretty favorable. The liquidity provider fee is expensive. Okay, this is the downfall of this layer two, is that a lot of LPs came on over. There's not that many LPs on this layer two. It's not brand new, but it's relatively new. So if there, for example, was let's say every single LP provider from Uniswap, they came over to QuickSwap, then this LP provider fee would be really low. If I press confirm swap, we can see this pop up. You can see how cheap the gas fee is. Look how cheap it is. It's less than a penny. It's literally less than a penny. So the problem here is not the transactions. The fees are obviously low and it works. The problem here is the liquidity providers not coming on over. But as cryptocurrency gets more adoption, this will get better and better. So the fee is still a little bit cheaper here, I will say. It's a little bit cheaper. It's way faster, less than a second on this layer two. But I know it's probably going over a lot of people's heads. So let me just quickly jump into this to explain to you guys what a layer two is. This will be a quick explanation. So basically, we have the layer one. This is ETH. This is the Ethereum blockchain. What happens is we have layer twos come into play, and they're kind of separate. But what they do is they settle transactions off chain, in some cases on chain. They settle it over here, and then they submit the transaction here, which makes everything so efficient for this layer one solution. And this is what Matic Network basically is doing. So we're doing all these transactions, and then right here, as you can see, we bridge it back to Ethereum. So let's say I ever wanted to go back, I could definitely do that. Let me just connect the MetaMask so I can show you guys. I'm gonna sign the transaction right there. I can send it back to the Ethereum mainnet. So am I in the right? Yeah, I'm in the right account. You could see I have the USD coin. So if I want to say move funds to Matic Network, boom, you could either take it from Matic Network to Ethereum or from Ethereum to Matic Network. And this is what you call a bridge. And this is where we're basically the bridging from this blockchain over to this blockchain. This is the bridge. I know it's an ugly representation. And with Matic, it just happens to be really cheap. Other places like AVAX have been really expensive, like $150. Matic was the cheapest one. So I decided to use their bridge. And as you can see in the wallet, let me just duplicate this and I'll show you the wallet. As you can see in the wallet, let's go back to here. It doesn't say Ethereum. It says USDC, but it usually says like USDC proof of stake, okay, which we'll probably see here actually. So let's say hypothetically, I wanted to put this 1 ETH over to the layer one Matic network. I'll press it right there. I'll press transfer. I'm bringing this over to Matic so I can trade back and forth on QuickSwap. I press continue. It says it's going to cost this much, and we're putting it over the POS bridge, which I can do something completely different if I wanted to. I could do their plasma bridge, but the POS is way quicker. So you're putting it POS and you'll get the Ethereum proof of stake version on Matic, and then you could actually swap it back. So if I wanted to, I switch this. I have, look, Ether, POS, wrapped Ether. I don't have any Ether, but let's say I wanted to do the USDC that I have, because I have USDC. Let's say I took this. I can take this and swap it back to the Ethereum mainnet right here to Ethereum mainnet, press transfer, continue. It's estimated to cost $10. It was really cheap. And I'm transferring it back to Ethereum, and then it'll pop up over here in my Ethereum mainnet account, which right now it's not, but it would pop up right here in Ethereum mainnet. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing right now. That's all the tools I'm currently using. This can change. I'll make an update video in the future. If you guys want more tutorials on this stuff, like super deep dive specifics, leave a comment below. Let me know. I think this covers pretty much everything I'm currently using right now to make trades and stuff like that. And obviously, a lot of it's experience. And you know how it works. Cryptocurrency is brand new, so adaptability and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching it, guys. Catch you in the next one. Alex here. Quick update, quick announcement, guys. I have a new community number, so I got a second phone. You could directly text me. I'm answering all questions. My new phone number is 954-758-5473. Again, that's 954-758-5473. I'm answering all comments. Go ahead and text me now. Let's have a conversation.